What is up, my ghouls? I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video. Sorry about that, guys. Life definitely intervened. Me and my boyfriend were moving into our new apartment. I also got promoted at my job and also moved stores for this promotion. So, good things, all good things, but definitely took up some time for sure. So, I haven't been able to get to actually doing my voiceovers for my videos, but now I finally got to it. Mainly because Colorado weather is so bipolar and we got a snow day today. I mean, I wouldn't really call it a snow day because it's been warm enough to where everything just turned into water, but I mean, compared to yesterday where it was beautiful sunshine and clear skies and then eventually turned into rain, I woke up this morning to literal snowfall. So that's definitely springtime for Colorado. But it definitely changed my plans for the day. Me and my boyfriend were going to go to the mall. But with the snow and everything, we just did not want to do the drive to the mall. So now I'm actually being productive and getting some stuff done for my YouTube page. So yay for that. But so today, guys, this nail set that I'm making is a like a cherry themed nail set. I was really stuck between doing like a white French tip or a pink French nail tip because I think both looked really cute when I looked up inspiration photos. And so I think I decided on the white French nail tip and then just added the cherry design on top because I think the white French nail tip looks just really classic and cute and just nice. So I went with the white one. To be honest, I might do the same exact set but with pink French nail tips because recently I saw a picture with the pink French nail tips, and it was just really, really cute looking. I've been trying to add more color into my life because I'm definitely one of those girls that wears a lot of black and gray. Not white though. I can't do white, which is kind of funny considering I picked the white French nail tips for this set, but I literally can't wear white. I just can't maintain the cleanliness, and I also don't have much white in my clothes. Same with my boyfriend. We don't really have much like white stuff. So like if we wash it, we don't have bleach or anything to actually maintain the whiteness. But so anyway, I'm getting a little off track here. But yeah, so that's the nail set for this video. And then for spooky time, I'm going to be reading this, I'll call it like it's like an 8-part series that someone uploaded, not uploaded, that someone wrote into Reddit. So today's story is about houses built on a graveyard, and that immediately always makes me think back to the Poltergeist movies. If you ever seen the original, not the remake, but if you've seen the original Poltergeist movies, it's about this neighborhood that got built onto a graveyard, and like the company that built the houses, they moved the headstones but they never moved the bodies, so then that created like a very haunted house in this specific house that is, centered on as the main characters for the family or whatever. But yeah, so I wonder how similar this is going to be to that, what exactly is going to be going on, but I'm definitely really excited to read this 8-part story to you guys. Or I don't really want to call it a story because it's not a story, like it's a true account that someone experienced. But so I'll see how many parts I can get through in this video. I might be able to get through all 8. I guess it depends how quickly I read them, but if I end up for some reason not being able to get through the 8 parts, then I'll put it into my next video. So all right guys, let's get started into spooky time. So this Redditor, their name is Elegant Ad 2603. And again, this is going to be their true account of houses on a graveyard. So let's begin. So some backstory. In Texas, there is a suburb that is just outside of Houston that was built in the 70s over a 1800s graveyard. They pretty much removed the gravestones, but didn't move the bodies. So as time passes and the community gets bigger, they keep finding graves. The most recent graves that were found was about 2 or 3 years ago. And if you go into the forest heading to the lake, you may find a gravestone or two. This is a story of a few of the experiences I've had living here, and FYI, this will be a lengthy post. So, anyways, I had no knowledge of this when I bought my first home in 2019 in this community. We were so excited, and I don't know if the real estate agent knew the history of the land or not, so it wasn't mentioned to us. We actually lived there a full year before we started having our first experiences. Side note, guys, that is what scares me about buying a house is sometimes paranormal activity doesn't start immediately. Sometimes it takes some time. So what if like most people they find their dream home, you think everything's fine and dandy and then things start happening. Like that is definitely one of my biggest fears with having a house. But anyway, back to the story. When my wife got pregnant in 2020, we were so excited. It was our first, and so we were outfitting my baby's nursery. On this day, on this particular day, I was just about to build the crib. I had just picked up the heavy box from inside the garage. I went to open the door while struggling to reach for the door handle. Suddenly, the door flew open out of my hands, and due to this, I was expecting to see my wife on the other side of the door, but she wasn't there. She was in the nursery. What made this even more weird is that the door was a heavy door, one that would close under its own weight, and it wasn't a windy day. At this time, I thought it was strange, but really thought nothing of it. The second experience we had in the house actually involves my wife. I was taking a shower and relaxing after a hard day's work. She had gone into the kitchen and started to cook dinner as I showered. She suddenly bust into the bathroom and she claimed that she saw a shadow heading to the nursery and assumed it was me. She said she started talking and thought it was odd I didn't reply and looked over and saw no one was there. We would have things move time to time, but thought we were forgetful and had moved them, but both of us never remembered moving the item. It wasn't until. Sorry, guys, my co host decided to burst into the room. Hi, B. Come here. Come here. Come do your co host role. Come here. Ugh. Come say hi to your audience. Okay, she's being a little shy. Bagheera, why are you all dusty? Say hi to your audience. Don't get shy. Say hi. She's being a little shy. Say hi. Come on, Bagheera. All right, she's being quiet right now. She just shook her hand at me. Okay, back to the story. It wasn't until I bought a second house in the same community and go to rent out the first house that I learned the history of the community. A guy looking at the house told me what he knew of the graveyard, and after the conversation with him, I became curious and started researching. Even finding an unsolved mysteries episode about the community and the experiences the first people of the community had, as well as all the lawsuits that happened. For those wondering, the buyers of the homes lost the cases due to the fact the graveyard was considered abandoned when the developer took over, so there were no liability on them. Or so, if I understand what I read correctly. Skipping to the next house, it started activity immediately. At this point of time, I have a 6-month-old and a toddler. My wife, myself, and the toddler were in the living room. My newborn was sleeping in the master. Suddenly, and with me and my wife both present to see it, a playpen ball flew out of our master and hit the wall. We both tried to figure out how that could have happened. We looked at air conditioning, if a toy was nearby that could have launched the ball, nothing. We couldn't explain how the ball was thrown that hard against the wall. The weirdest thing that happened at 3 a.m. without fail, my 2-year-old daughter, who is autistic, wakes and wants to sleep with us. Sometimes she seems like she's scared, sometimes she seems like she's normal. Now, I don't know if this is a learned behavior or something more, but I feel it's worth noting. Time and again, we think we see shadows and dark masses. My wife says she feels uncomfortable in the kitchen. I feel like I see things out of the corner of my eye. Now, to be forward, I won't call this paranormal because this could be my own paranoia and makes me question if the small things I see are just in my head. And if this really is what we speculate, it doesn't seem malicious. I'll update this if something major ever happens. If you've made it this far, thanks for reading. Well, considering that they uploaded 7 more parts after that first one, I guess things continue. So let's continue on with the updates and see what activity keeps happening. Okay, so the second part. Here we go. So last time I ended my post, I had thought I was seeing things, but it could have been my own imagination. I was unsure. We had told a few friends, but no one would believe us. And I also finally told my wife what I had noticed in my daughter's room, but was unsure if I wasn't influencing my own paranoia. Well, 2 events happened since my last post. So, first off, we have 2 dogs. They have never randomly barked or responded to anything, so that's what confuses me on these experiences. As I said in my last post, my daughter, without fail, will hop into our bed at about 3 a.m., plus or minus 30 minutes. Like I said in the past, I'm not sure if it is a learned behavior, but thought it was worth noting. Well, the other night, I was outside with my daughter talking with my sister. Suddenly, my wife burst outside with my son in hand in a scared tone, said she heard one of my son's toys go off. She heard the toy and looked up and saw a black mass fly across the door of my daughter's room. It matches up with what I've been seeing. My only fear is since I told her what I've been seeing, she may be influenced by it. The mind works in mysterious ways. The second experience, it was late at night. I walk into the kitchen and I feel like I'm being watched. What's weird about this house is no matter what we see, we may feel a little uncomfortable, but we will never feel threatened by whatever is here. Even my wife, who jumps at the sight of her own shadow, says she doesn't feel threatened. Anyways, I walk into the kitchen and I see what looks like a shape of a head behind the side of the fridge. It disappears as soon as I saw it. Like I said, the dogs have never barked and we have never felt threatened. I don't know what to think about all this, but I'll update as more happens. Part 3. So it seems I am doing this every 2 weeks as things are happening, and things have ramped up in the past week. There are some things that are pretty minor, and I can usually think of a plausible explanation, and if I can think of an explanation, it's not worth telling. Plus, in my stories, I will lead you in my thoughts trying to debunk. So here we go. Plus, this also involves my other property that I used to live in, so this is another long post. So, we ended up telling a family member about what we have seen and heard so far at the house. This person doesn't believe us, and that's fine. I understand that not everyone will believe me in what has happened at this house, but I don't think whatever is at my house has the same understanding. It now seems that whenever this person comes over, activity starts. One time, my family member came to watch a show. We have one show we religiously watch every week, and we were waiting for it to start. I was sitting at the dining room table, eating dinner, and my wife and family member were in the kitchen chatting. Now, across the kitchen is a utility slash laundry room. In there, it's where we put the cat when we eat because the cat loves food and will swipe a pork chop off your plate. I'm speaking from experience here. Anyways, while we're all chatting, the cat starts meowing. A minute later, the door handle starts turning. Now, logically, one would think the cat has learned how to turn the door handle. Here's the issue. The doorknobs are round, and there is nothing for the cat to sit on to even get a grip of it to turn knobs. That means the cat would have to hang off the doorknob and swing its body while somehow holding the door. My family member blamed the cat, but it doesn't make sense. I would have to have a talented cat, and as of now, my cat is fat and happy. On that same day, my daughter was playing with her toys while we were watching our TV show. After a while, the show ended, and my wife and daughter went into the master, and my family member and I stayed in the living room watching a new program. Now, my daughter has a lot of electronic noise toys that will eventually shut off after you stop playing with them, usually 5 minutes after the last button was pushed. Anyways, my wife and daughter have been gone over an hour. Suddenly, one of the toys just started going off. Over and over. It would not stop. I figured it would stop on its own, but it didn't. I eventually took out the batteries, and it did stop then. Now, I understand 9 times out of 10, a simple reboot will fix most electronics. But this one was odd. When I put in the same batteries, it didn't do it again. The following week, the family member came over and we were just hanging out, no TV or anything, just chatting. Suddenly, the TV turned on. Just the TV. Then it turned off. And then it came back on. You could hear the TV as it clicked on and off. Now, I have one of those automation systems that make my home a smart home, and the TV that turned on was a surround sound system. So the system would usually turn on multiple components to watch a program. Plus, it's on a battery backup. So, if power crashed, I would have a little time to watch TV. My neighborhood gets blackouts all the time, so I have battery backup on my router and main TV. So, there was one remote for the whole system with other remotes in the attic. On top of that, I program these smart homes for a living and have access to the program. There was nothing in the logs that told the TV to turn on. Could it have been CEC or ARC that turned on the TV by accident? No. I turn off all those features due to the type of system I have. So, how does this TV turn on? The TV doesn't have a power button on the physical set. There's an argument that there could be a malfunction, but I can't find it, and I have a technical background in this stuff. The last part of this update comes from the other house that I'm renting out. I was talking to my tenant, and in the middle of the conversation, she asked me if I knew if there was a need to redo windows. She told me that sometimes she feels cold in some rooms and some doors would slam. She claimed she thought it could be the wind. Now, this house was built in 2019. When it came to the freeze of 2020 in Texas, we lost power for 3 days. The house stayed at 55 degrees at its coldest while it was in the single digits teens outside. So the house was well built. I hired a window guy just in case to make sure there, and he said all looked good. I told her this, and she thought it was strange, and so did I. We have had a very warm summer here in Texas, and she started renting in July. Now, when I lived there, the AC vents aren't on the doors, so the likelihood it's air conditioning closing doors is none. It may explain cold, but when I lived there, I really didn't experience uneven cooling. I won't discount it as a possibility due to the system now being close to 5 years old, but door slamming, I can't explain. If more happens that is decent, I'll let you know. Part 4. So, as an update, we have had some noticeable things happen that are kind of interesting. So, starting this off, this particular update has more questionable stuff happen, as in the sense of is it paranormal or coincidence? One night, my daughter and I were playing hide and seek. Now, she somewhat understands the concept, but she struggles on the concept of counting and then go seeking. So, what I do is I wait till she turns around away from me and I run away and hide. Sometimes she just chases me, or if I get her distracted or my wife distracts her, I'll get a good hiding spot. Once she realizes I'm gone, she goes around the house humming and squeaking. She doesn't speak while looking for me. Well, one of the times, I hid in the master closet. We have a decent sized walk in closet, and I usually leave the lights off and hide in there. Well, I was there waiting for my daughter to find me, and I hear a rustling of clothes that are hung a few feet away. I turn around and see nothing and assume I may have bumped something. But then I hear it again. I stand in the dark, looking in its direction, but I see nothing. I finally start hearing my daughter's hum, and I hear what sounds like hangers sliding on the dowel. I look behind me again, and this time my alert is high. It's dark enough that I can't see anything other than what's in front of the door. At this point, my daughter finds me, and I turn on the light, but I see nothing there. A couple days later, my curiosity leads me to download a ghost hunting app. Oh boy, here we go. Now I know from what I read, a lot of them said it was gimmicky and fake, but it seemed that one called GhostTube was the least gimmicky, and when you download, they claim it's legit. Is it real? I don't know. Anyways, I got 4 words. Stop recording. Uh, I got 4 words. Stop recording. This one was said 3 times. Annoying, psychic, how are you? Times 2. Not sure what that was supposed to be other than maybe I'm annoying for recording, lol. We are starting to notice things are getting moved. And yes, I have toddlers, and it's a given things will gain toddler feet and walk away. However, a few nights ago, the whole family was in the living room. I was holding my son, and my daughter was playing on her slide. In the kitchen that is adjacent to the living was a pink ball that lit up when you bounce it. This ball suddenly lit up and started rocking, and it did it for a solid 10 seconds at least. We all noticed it, even the kids. It was odd to say at the least. And then this morning, a shampoo bottle that I know that was on a high shelf so my daughter can't reach it suddenly appeared in front of the master bathroom closet door. It's a little spooky. Anyways, that's it for now. As time goes on, I'll note things. Thanks for reading. Okay, guys, I think we may have time for update 6. Yeah, okay. I have time for update 6, and then I think I'm going to have to stop there. So, update 6. It's been a couple months since I've done an update, so I figured why not? Now, since my last update, the usual stuff that I have said in past updates still happens. Stuff move and no one knows what happens, and we try to rationalize, was it the kids or was it something else? Usually the kids get the blame unless it's something I know I made sure it's something they can't reach and I've made sure of it. Toys will still randomly go off in the middle of the night, and we have made the joke that if the ghost wants to play with the toys, keep it down. We have accepted there is a possibility that something is there. What it is, we haven't determined. Now for the new stuff. For my last post, it seemed whatever is there, it was interested in my daughter. Most activity happened at night and was primarily focused on her room. My daughter is nonverbal, so it's not like I can ask her, "What do you see?" But sometimes I see her stare at something in the house and I wonder. But the change seems that the focus is no longer on my daughter. It's changed to my wife. And where most things usually happened at night, usually between 10 and 3 a.m., it can now happen anytime. Now keep this in mind. I try to look at this as a skeptic. I don't want to be like Ghost Adventures and think that when some guy farts, it has to be a ghost. Don't hate me, I love that show, but sometimes some shit seems exaggerated. Yeah, I definitely agree with them. One night, me and my wife were in bed, and I want to say it was about 12:30 at night. My daughter usually stays up to ridiculous times, and so after my wife and I will finally get to unwind. She usually goes to sleep, and I'll stay up and play games or watch a series. I've always been a night owl. This particular night, we were both watching a series, and I was looking at my phone looking for info on something, and my wife looks at the door, and the door jerked a good foot and a half open. I didn't see it happen. It happened so fast. All I saw was that the door was more open than the last time I looked at it. My wife said it was really fast. Easy to say, she didn't get much sleep that night. The second experience that shook her happened midday, and it happened in the same place where I've had a couple experiences, the master closet. One day, I came home from work and my wife seemed a little nervous. She didn't come running to me or anything, but I knew something was off. So the usual pleasantries of welcoming me home happened, and she looked at me and she said she saw it again. I was confused what she meant. She told me she was hanging the clean laundry on hangers when the whole time she said she felt an uneasy feeling. She said being watched. She looked around and saw nothing and finished her task. She said she turned off the light and what looked like a dark shadow person was standing in the back of the closet. She didn't see any features, just a silhouette, and it didn't move. She goes to turn on the light because it scared her so badly, and it was gone. She turned the lights on and off to see if it came back, and it didn't reappear. I asked her, "Are you sure it's not our own paranoia, considering I've seen the same thing in the same spot?" She was confident on what she saw. So, as I've said on past updates, I use this as my journal as new things or things change. So, if things are always the same as things moving and stuff like that, it's not worth the time. Until next time. Okay, guys. Well, after update 6, we have 2 more updates, but they will have to wait until the next video. So I definitely hope you guys enjoyed those initial 6 stories about their experience in their, I guess, their 2 houses that they own. Like I said, that's one of my worst fears is getting not only like a new age house, because when you think of haunted houses, you think of like stuff on the East Coast that have been around since the I want to say 1800s, like super old, but there are still even new age, newly built houses that can potentially be haunted. It just depends where they're built, who's lived in them, who knows what other factors can be, taken into place. But um, honestly, I'm glad that it's nothing too major for them, that it's just little things, things moving. They don't feel scared. Nothing seems threatening. But either way, I would still definitely be unnerved, especially seeing something in the closet. Like, as I've stated before, the movie The Grudge traumatized me as a kid, so I am traumatized of closets. Even in our new apartment, we have a walk-in closet and our bed faces the door. So at night, I have to have my boyfriend close the door because I'm just scared of being able to see, or I guess not see, into a dark open closet. Like, no, like that's just a big no for me. So the fact that the both of them saw something, or at least experienced something in the master closet, like that's just super sketchy. I would absolutely hate that, especially with the wife and seeing a dark silhouette and then turning the light on and off, and it's just not there since the first time you saw it. Like, no, that is some scary movie shit right there. No, thank you. I would never go in that closet again. I just I no, I could not imagine. I love me some paranormal stuff, but like actually seeing that stuff has never been fun. Like the moments where I've had a paranormal experience, like I said, it's not fun. I would not want to deal with that on the daily. But at the same time, I have heard of stories of people coexisting with spirits that live in their home, or I guess I should say they coexist with the spirits whose home they live in, because I mean technically the spirits were there first. So that's always good, I guess, if whatever spirits are in that home isn't dangerous, isn't trying to do bad things, is just kind of there. That's definitely the most beneficial paranormal activity you could hope for in a home that you live in, because then at least you don't have to worry about something trying to hurt you or something being malicious. You can kind of just coexist with it, especially if like things are being moved or their kids' toys are being played with. You can kind of just make a joke about it, like, yeah, okay, cool, go ahead and have fun with the toys, but like keep it down at night. Like, yeah, that sounds kind of okay. Especially with the things moving, you just that's not so bad. Something's just not in the same place as it was when you first originally put it. Oh well, you can tell them stop moving your stuff and hope that they stop moving it. It's just definitely worrisome if things do start changing to being more malicious, more scary, more intent of harm and whatnot. But we are reaching the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely still a little rusty, but this is like my fifth upload, I think. So I think as time keeps going by, I'll start getting better and better at just telling the stories, better transitions in my words, and just talking in general. But I did feel a lot more comfortable with this one, especially after kind of being out of it for, I want to say, a couple weeks. But I hope you guys also enjoyed watching me create this nail set. I currently am wearing my butterfly set that you will see that video uploaded sometime soon after this current one. But I'm definitely thinking about putting the cherry set on next because it just looks so cute and it's perfect for springtime. We have cherry blossom trees here, so I think definitely cherry nails will just be super cute along with everything coming back to life right now if the snow stops killing it. But yeah, guys, I need your help with how to end my videos. I never know how to end off my video, how to sign off, how to say goodbye. I always just kind of get stuck and then I'm like, okay, bye. But if anybody who has experience with YouTube videos, or even just, I don't know, just some helpful tips on how to end my videos, that would be great because honestly, I never really know how to end it. I guess I could always say, see you guys next time. Bye. I don't know. I always feel like I'm like ending a phone call or something. It's so weird trying to like end a video, and like I don't want it to be just like an abrupt ending. But I guess if you guys have any helpful tips, that would be great. Even just kind of, I don't know, something. You can even send me a link to videos you guys watch and how people end their videos. Or I guess I can just make that my thing, the most awkward endings or send offs to my videos. That'll be that'll be my thing. But all right, guys. Yeah. See, I never know how the hell to end these stuff. But so I hope you guys come and watch my future videos. I think I have like probably besides this one, maybe one or two more videos to upload. Yeah, I think actually thinking about it, I think I have two more that are going to be uploaded. I don't know when they're going to be uploaded. I don't really have like a schedule yet, especially because my new work schedule has been a pain in the ass, but I'll get to it. I hope you guys keep up with me and definitely, hit those notifications for when I do upload my YouTube videos. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram. TikTok may be dying off, as we all know. So if you don't follow me on Instagram or even YouTube, make sure you do because TikTok may be going bye bye. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, guys, see you next video. Bye.